Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 250 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. A tip of my penis to the ladies of the night, and the Johns, and to myself, the B-Man, for making it to episode 250 of Verbal Graffiti. No small feat, only small penises here at Verbal Graffiti, and even that isn't that small. It's pedestrian. Boyfriend penis? Is that what some of you ladies of the night call it? But this episode is all about a celebration. It's to commemorate the birthday, 250 years of America, and 250 episodes of Verbal Graffiti. Which one has been more impactful on humanity? Only perverts will be able to tell us that, and we'll have to wait decades from now to get their answer. I'm not concerned about the future, though, nor should you. We're concerned about right now. We're concerned about the present. We're concerned about the vibe, as they call it. And this, to commemorate this episode and this great achievement, both America and Verbal Graffiti, I thought I'd set the vibe a little bit more romantic. Learn how to talk, B-Man. Learn how to talk. A bit more romantic, a bit more intimate with you, the audience. And again, thank you for being here and being a supporter of this project, Verbal Graffiti. So I thought I'd dim down the lights, I'd wear a bathrobe, and if you were wondering, if you've been a fan for 250 episodes, and you don't know who I am, right, off camera, but you often think, well, I see the B-Man on YouTube, stunning, beautiful eyes, although he has pale skin, that's nice skin. That skin I would love to lick if I knew him in person, but you don't know me in person. But you wonder, what does the B-Man, what does he dress like when he's off camera, when he's not on YouTube, when he's not on social media? This is normally what I wear around my house. Nay, my mother's house. I wear a bathrobe. I would walk around naked if I could, but I live with my mother. And I ain't that perverted, so I wear a bathrobe. She's very appreciative of that, my mother. And if you're wondering, I'm naked under this bathrobe. That's why I keep going like this, because I don't want to show my ball sack, which is my best physical feature. I think anyway. I don't want to show it to YouTube. I don't want to show it to Instagram. I want to. But I don't want to get kicked off those platforms for accidentally showing my ball sack through my robe. Because there's nothing worse than when you're staring at a hot babe, or maybe if you're a babe, you're staring at a hot John, and he's wearing a bathrobe, and you wonder, wow, what's underneath that? Is he naked under that? And then whoever your lover is, they take it off, and they're wearing whitey tighties or a bra that doesn't match the panties. And oh man, I thought you were naked. I thought this was going to be an event. It was just a tease. With the B-Man, I don't tease. When I wear a bathrobe, I'm naked underneath that bathrobe because I come correct. I keep it a buck. So that's what we're going to do here. So if I keep going like this, it's not craps. It's not chlamydia. It's just I'm trying to hide the ball sack. I have a low-hanging ball sack. My ball sack hangs lower than my penis, Mr. Perfect, when he is soft. I don't know why I just disclosed that information. I'm excited. Episode 250, I just feel as though I just had some bubbly champagne. I did not. I should have some here to commemorate this episode. I do not. All right. But as moving forward, that preamble out of the way. If you're a regular here, you know all the information I'm about to disclose. But if you're new, or you're recently jumped on board to this project, every 50 episodes, so 50, 100, 150, 200, and now 250, I like to pull the curtain back, and other than just showing my smut literature from the 1970s, which I collect, I like to give the audience just a peek behind the curtain, how we're doing numbers-wise, how the project, where we stand, viewership, views, subscriber counts, all that jazz. So I'm going to give it to you all now. It's like I said, I keep it a buck, keep it 100. I want you to know how it is we're doing here. Not well at all. I was just watching episode 200, and I usually don't watch episodes after I edit them because I'm not that much of a narcissist. I'm a narcissist. You ever hawk your dick loogie? Right, for me, it's a beach towel, and you look at your sperm, your semen, your goo, and admire it. I do. That might be the definition of a narcissist. I don't even think Trump does that. I hear so many guys, Johns on the internet and in person, they'll talk about how when they jerk off, when they masturbate, how they feel depressed right afterwards. I've never felt depressed right after masturbating. Every time I hawk my dick loogie and I see it splattered on the beach towel, I always think, that's awesome. I can't believe I was able to do that. That it jazzes me up seeing my semen on a beach towel. Hey, would I prefer it to be a human being, consensually, a hot female babe? Yes, I would. But I'm not a famous YouTuber yet, so right now it's a beach towel. I don't know why I just talked about that. We're supposed to be talking about verbal graffiti and how we're doing here. But if you're new here, that's kind of what it is. I start talking about a topic that I'm intent, I write notes on, and then somehow it always goes back to Mr. Perfect, my penis, and masturbation jokes. Yin and yang here at Verbal Graffiti. I don't know what yin and yang means. It's yin yang, but we're doing it. Zigzag. Well, we're all over the road today, episode 250, and maybe we're driving a little buzzed, a little drunk. Hopefully there aren't any police on the road. We're not doing well, though. We're not doing well. I was watching episode 200, and I believe in episode 200, I mentioned I had 60 subscribers on YouTube. So that was about 6 months ago. Again, if you're new, I put out episodes twice a week, Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Please subscribe and like and all that jazz. I've already said the word jazz twice this episode. I'm not going to repeat that word again because that would be repetitive. And my senior high school English teacher would reprimand me for using the same adjective 3 times. Well, in her case, it'd be an essay. That's what I was doing senior year of high school, writing essays. We're now episodes of Verbal Graffiti. So episode 200, we had 60 subscribers. Hey, B-Man, how many subscribers do you have now? Episode 250. As of this recording, I have 83 subscribers. Do the math. I know it's difficult. So in 50 episodes, Verbal Graffiti has gained 23 subscribers. That's less than 1 new subscriber every episode. It's about a subscriber every 2 episodes or maybe 1 a week. Not great. It's not nothing, but it ain't great. It ain't enough to really make my mark on YouTube, on the internet. And that's certainly not where I thought I'd be right now, 250. As I just talked about with hawking my dick loogie, I'm a bit of a narcissist. That's not the correct term. I'm a dreamer. I dream big. That's what dreamers do. We dream big. So when I started this project, I was convinced, well, within 2 years, within 3 years, I'll have multi-million viewers. I'll be making, $10,000 plus a month on YouTube. I'd be touring around the country. I would get because I'm doing this. I do stand-up comedy, if you don't know. So I thought this project would give me some notoriety, a bit of a fan base around the United States, and maybe I'd go tour, do, 100, 200 person venues across the country every weekend. That's not the case. I'm still doing open mics, small bar shows, pizzerias in Connecticut, Jersey, Massachusetts, New York, all of New England. Mostly Connecticut, though. So it really hasn't popped off yet. But we have 83 subscribers, and that ain't nothing. And to the 83 of you that have subscribed, thank you. A tip of my penis. And I'd give you more if I had more than a tip to give. But right now, at 83 subscribers, not monetized at all I got is the tip. All I got is me and Mr. Perfect, so I can't give you anything else. I don't even have a shirt on my back. I'm wearing a bathrobe. It's kind of, I don't know. You guys say I have 83 subscribers, but make no mistake about it, it's even worse than that. I'm not getting 83 views per episode of Verbal Graffiti. Nowhere close to that. When you watch a YouTube channel, and you'll notice this, whatever other channels you watch, oftentimes the number of views will be far fewer than the number of subscribers. And that's the same here. I will say, we are starting to gain a few more views per episode, and that is encouraging. And not many more. Episode 200, I was still getting single digits per episode, usually around 10 views per episode, and many of them under 10. But as of right now, episode 250, the last 20 episodes or so, I would say I'm averaging around 20. I haven't done the exact math, but usually when I get 20 views, like, all right, that's a good episode. That's a good episode. Some episodes reach 30, 35, and that makes me feel a little giddy. All right, we're getting a little bit more. But then I do an episode that is very vulgar, and then my views will go back down under 10. But I refuse to concede to YouTube and the algorithm. Oh, I am not going to do... Is anyone else sick of these AI thumbnails? They all look the same, whereas the host or the person, whatever type of video, it has some stupid smile, and then he's got the guest, and it's some AI image, and it's some weird cyberpunk future dystopian, and nobody has emotions at all. Everyone has a permanent smile on their face, and nothing is wrong. First of all, thumbnails, artistically, they do not interest me at all. I put a lot of effort into this background, so I like putting the actual studio thumbnails on my episode. I use basic font with my episode titles. I try in my thumbnails, I've started to put the topics in the thumbnail, so you don't have to read the description, and you can kind of see by the thumbnail what I write on it, what the topics for that episode are going to be. And you could decide whether those are topics you want to listen and watch, or if that's an episode you like to skip and go to another episode. And there are plenty to go to. We have 250 as of today, this episode. So, but I'm averaging about 20 views an episode on YouTube, whereas at episode 200, I was averaging about 10. So I've doubled my viewership in the last 50 episodes. Time-wise, that's about 6 months. So it ain't too shabby. It's a bit encouraging. I think what's more encouraging to me is when I get feedback or interaction from you, the fans, the audience, random Johns on the internet, and it's almost always Johns. Barely any babes reach me here at Verbal Graffiti. But anytime I get an encouraging comment or even an insult under a video or a reel I make, that jazzes me up. Because I have my notifications on YouTube on. So when I open up YouTube, they'll have a little heart on the top of my phone. They'll be, oh, wow, somebody commented or someone did a like to one of my videos, and that jazzes me up, even if it's an insult. Because the insults, usually, at least the ones I get, are more time-consuming than the guys or the gals who give a like or a, hey, great video, thumbs up. Because the insults usually tend to be entire paragraphs. So knowing that I irk somebody, a stranger on the internet, enough to where that person feels the need to write an entire paragraph about how awful I am, how terrible I look, how grating my voice is, or how wrong I am about whatever the topic is of that episode, It's like, oh, well, hey, you're paying attention. You're listening. I'll take that. I'll take anything I could get because we don't have much here. All right. So I think that's probably the most encouraging thing. I was reminiscing last night because I knew this was episode 250, knew this was going to be a big one. And I was pondering whether or not this project has been beneficial to me, my life. Again, narcissist. Everything's got to be about me, the B-man. Is my life better now that Verbal Graffiti is in it? And we've been doing this project now about 2.5 years. That's what it comes out to. 2 episodes a week, 100 episodes a year. That's 2.5 years, 250 episodes. It's hard to say. I've certainly, I'm not lying when I say I put a lot of my effort and time into this project. Probably more than I should. Honestly, half of my work week when I'm supposed to be working at my job, I'm working on this Verbal Graffiti, editing, making reels when I should be working. And usually if I have a night on the weekend where I'm not doing stand-up, I'm up. Sometimes I'm up till midnight, 1 a.m, making reels, writing notes for next week's episode, scouring through Reddit, looking for funny posts that I can comment on and do an entire segment about here at Verbal Graffiti. So my mind is always focused on Verbal Graffiti. Like, what am I going to talk about? What kind of energy do I have to have? And when I wake up, the morning of an episode, the morning of a day I'm going to record episodes, I try to hype myself up in the shower. Like, this is Verbal Graffiti. Come with energy, B-man. Come with energy. I know you're tired. You're lethargic. You haven't had your coffee. You want to give in. You want to submit to life. You can't. Tonight is Verbal Graffiti. It's episode night. So I all throughout the day, I try to, well, I was almost about to say jazz, which would have been the third time, but I'm not. I'm trying to get in focused, get in the zone for Verbal Graffiti. Bring that energy. All right, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens. Keep the audience captivated. So it's a lot to keep that energy up, even if the episode's only 30 minutes. It's more than 30 minutes. It's the prep. It's the during. It's the after. And then recording the second episode the same night, because I record both episodes for the week, back to back, belly to belly, the same night. Because if you don't know, this studio also serves as my bedroom. So I have to push the mattress up and get the studio, take all the equipment out, set it up. It's a whole to do. So I try only have to do it once per week. That's why I record multiple episodes in one sitting. But it's this, although the numbers and the viewership and the lack of notoriety, none of it's there, right? But at least it's not matching the effort and the time and the brain power I'm putting towards the project. All right, monetarily, I think 2.5 years ago when I started this project, I was making $58,000 a year at my day job. I'm now making $65,000. So financially, I'm a little better off, but with inflation, I'm most likely down financially. This project, we've talked about it. I'm down money doing it, but it's not about the money. It's about the passion. It's about the sexiness, right? It's about what do you love? And I'm putting my passion into it. And the numbers tell me, the numbers are not matching my passion. So from that, I was thinking about this last night. Like, yeah, man, the project really hasn't made my life, or the people in my life, my orbit, it hasn't made their life any better. Right? I feel a sense of accomplishment doing this project. I'm not going to quit. But if you get the vibe or the sense that I'm going to say, hey, this is my final episode, thanks for coming. No. The B-Man, I ain't a quitter. I'm a cockroach. I'm going to keep coming with content until somebody steps on me and kills me and tells me, no more content from the B-Man. And even when that happens, I'll find another platform to release episodes of Verbal Graffiti. So don't worry about that. Don't worry. I knew so. I felt the. When somebody's going to tell you they don't want to see you again, how you get that feeling in your chest, that little pre-hyperventilation. My apologies for that. We are staying right here. We are not going away. I'm just reminiscing about this project, what it is, where is it going. I think somebody. But it was just a long-winded way of saying it. Like, I'm putting just as much effort and passion into this project as I did during episode 1. If you've been here the whole time, you notice the format really has not changed. I've tried a few different things. There was a period there where I was reading smut literature at the end of every episode, 2 pages, and I read an entire book over the course of, 50 episodes. I'm taking photos. That was a big thing early on, photos around New Haven or wherever I was doing stand-up. I would put those in between segments. Still do that sometimes. I'm making videos. Last week, for instance, the last video, not video, but like narration or short film I put out, 0 views. On YouTube, had 0 views total. And then this past week, I had PTO off for my real work. I spent the entire week making a short film. I'm not giving myself a tip of the penis. I'm not bitching about the fact of all the work I had to put into making the film, because I did enjoy the process. When I go to make a short film, there is a burden on my shoulders, because I know it's going to be time consuming. Because each film I make, I try to add a new element to it. I try to add more scenes, make it more of an actual short film than merely a sketch or a 1-minute funny little video out on the street, out in the real world. So you have multiple scenes, which means multiple locations, which means and multiple props. And this last video, I bought a lot of props for it, and that costs some money. And you have to set up all the props in the studio, in my room. And, I work during the day. I do stand-up at night. I record these episodes. So I don't have a whole lot of free time. So I had a week off. So I had to bang out all the filming during that week. So there's just a burden on my shoulder. Because when I come up with an idea in my head, this perverted mind of mine, I got to do it. That's why I'm here with all of you. That's why this Verbal Graffiti exists. I thought of, let me try a podcast, a little YouTube show. What should I name it? And I came up with this vision, and I turned it into reality, into an actual thing that exists. That's what's so beautiful about humans. Right? I've been noticing that a lot of late, the last couple weeks, because it's been nice here. Right? It's June in Connecticut. The bloom, the green, the scenery, it's finally summer. I drive around, and I'll drive in New Haven or Hartford, Connecticut, or West Hartford or Manchester. So I'll go in and out of cities and into the suburbs. And this union that we have, nature and humans, or we share one earth, but we're as humans, everything that's in the world is because of humans. And not everything that's not nature is because of humans. So it is kind of magical, this yin and yang, as I mentioned earlier, between humans and nature, and how we meld the two together. It's that's the magic of the human brain. Like every time you're driving on a road, a human thought of that. Right? You see a building. A human thought of that building, right? And made it and put it together. Humans put it together. But it all started with whatever you're looking at. That's not a tree, where it's a building or a statue, whatever it is, a fountain. A human came up, envisioned that. Like, it wasn't a reality. It was just a thought. And that person and a group of people came together and they built it. Like, humans are building on this earth. Where it will be in 100 years, who the fuck knows? But the same thing with this verbal graffiti. It's just this little thing, this little thought I had in my brain. It wouldn't go away. So I knew, well, I have to build this. And it became this, verbal graffiti. And for that, although the viewership and the numbers are in the sewer, they're not even in the sewer. They didn't even reach the sewer. That's how pitiful the numbers are. But the fact that I had this thought, this vision in my head, this perverted mind of mine, this weird concoction of mush and whatever the hell it is your brain's made out of, and how these thoughts come about, I don't know. But I had this thought, I held on to it, and I built this. And it's mine. It's ours. And it's pretty damn special. And I'm pretty damn proud of it. And that's why I put so much effort and time. And anytime I get some free time, I'm using that time to make something or to create a video that I could put on this platform, Verbal Graffiti. And each episode just is one more level. And even though the viewers are not here, the project and what it is compounding. Right? It's almost like we're just building a base right now. And that's what gives me the thrill. Like last week, as I was mentioning, a long-winded way of going. I was making a short film, but I feel that burden before I make the film because I every day for 45 minutes, I think of jokes and content I could create for Verbal Graffiti or jokes for my stand-up comedy when I'm doing real stand-up, person, that art form. And when I envision a film or a video that I can make for Verbal Graffiti, it's a burden. It weighs heavily on me because I know I'm going to make this. Whatever idea I have for a movie, short film, sketch, once I fully formulate an idea, I need to make that a reality. And that's heavy on me because that thought will stay with me until I create it. I don't know, was it 5 or 10 episodes ago? I was whining and bitching about how I bought a package of Nespresso, a coffee, those little coffee pods, but they didn't fit in my Nespresso machine or my mother's Nespresso machine. Because let's be honest, everything in this house is my mom's, not mine, except for my baseball cards. And I ended up throwing those out. I did not return them, but that was a burden. That was just it wasn't a burden, but it was a thought. Right? It's like, I got to return these, and I never do. And many things in my life, that thought, it stays with me, but I don't act on it. But with Verbal Graffiti and my art, whatever the fuck this is, my stand-up and this YouTube project, when I formulate an idea, or some project, like I do it, right? And it's always on the forefront of my mind until I complete it. And now that these short films are becoming a bit longer, as far as time and number of scenes, there's more filming, there's more editing, there's more outfits, there's more dialogue that's got to be made, there's more transitions. So each one, there's just more that goes into it. And I know, wow, that's going to be 5 nights of taping, of filming. That's going to be another whole weekend of editing, of color grading. But hey, man, that's the gig. That is the torture that is my brain. The torture of an artist. The tortured brain of an artist. I feel like a cheese doodle when I call myself an artist. But trust me, if you've been here long enough, you know, like I'm not some hooty tooty. I'm better than all of you, although I do think I'm better than most of you. And I'll point you out in person and tell you I'm better than you. But not in terms of, well, I'm an artist and you're not. Whatever. They just, when I think of something artistically, I have to do it. And it's all consuming until I complete it. And even this short film, there's still one more scene I need to film and put together. And you know, that's still with me until I get that done. So do know. Hey, I'm just talking. Honestly, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to convince myself to keep the project going. I'm trying to come up with reasons why I should still make new episodes and continue to create new content when every other metric is telling me to quit. All right, hang it up. Close your camera for the last time. Delete your YouTube channel. Just admit that you'll never find a busty Latina that's going to give you the time of day. Well, I can't. I can't quit. What are you going to do? What do people do that quit? A couple episodes ago, I was talking about, what were we talking about? Oh, people who leave the workforce. Or people who they get a degree, and maybe they get laid off, and they can't find new work, and then they quit searching for new work for means to make money. And that, well, how do you quit? Like, what do you do when you quit? Whether it's searching for babes, or trying to make money, or try to find meaning in life, whatever that meaning may be. Like, what do you do when you give up on that? Maybe that's why I keep going, because I don't want to be forced to answer that question. Earlier today, when I should have been doing some prep work for this episode, I found myself doom scrolling through X and Instagram. And I was just doom scrolling. And it hit me. What the fuck am I doing? I'm a man. I'm 42 years old. And there I am on my phone, doom scrolling in the middle of the afternoon in summer. Pitiful. That's boy behavior. That's beta. That's a beta activity right there. Scrolling through your phone, reading other people's content, other people's opinion, other people's video, wasting my time. Boom, boom, boom. It's my favorite thing to do. Doom scrolling. But probably like you yourself. You do have times where you're scrolling. You go, what? Why am I doing this? This time could be so much more productive to me than doom scrolling whatever it is on my phone. But I keep doom scrolling. It did hit me though. It's like, I'm a grown man and I'm scrolling through X. Who am I? How can you be a man when you're scrolling through X? I gotta stop. I'm not going to stop doing that. Similar to Verbal Graffiti. I'm not going to stop doom scrolling. This was another thought I had last night or maybe 2 nights ago. Like, am I living my life correctly? There is no, it's not a math equation. I'm sure there's some quant out there who can tell me or tell you whether you're living your life wrong or not, or what you should or should not be doing with your life. But that's not how I looked at it, right? I was examining my life, and more specifically, how I'm living my life. Am I living it correctly? And the way I did the thought exercise was money. So let's say in a hypothetical world or environment, I was a multimillionaire. I am not. I have a 401k. I have a Roth IRA. I have some sports cards. That's basically all my money. So I'm not a multimillionaire. But let's just say my stand-up comedy and this project Verbal Graffiti popped off. Right? It's just gained notoriety and viewership, and let's just say I was making $3 million a year. Like, how would I be living my life differently as a guy, a John, making $3 million annually as compared to what I am today? A guy making $65,000, having to work a normal remote day job. And I was doing the exercise. And as it's impossible to answer the question. Well, how would you live your life if you had more money? Honestly, I was being honest with myself. I don't think I'd live my life any differently at all. Honestly, like I just bought this baseball card. I bought two. All right, I have a problem with baseball cards. I haven't looked at eBay since the beginning of 2026, although it's my sister's birthday in June. So I was like, well, I got to buy her a baseball card. That's what I do every year. So I opened up eBay. And of course, I buy her a nice card. But then I started looking at my safe searches and, I bought cards. This one, I love. Okay, this is a Top Stadium Club. I love the photos. This was like a $10 card. From 1997, I think. And then this is a random 7th inning sketch out of 50 from 1997 or 1998. I spent maybe like $150 on this card, that's about my limit. I try not to go over a couple $100 for one baseball card. I buy singles. But I say that, I'm not trying to mog you with my baseball cards, although I am, right? I'm mogging you with my Derek Jeter baseball cards. But I tell you this more so to let you know, like if I was making $3 million or, if I was making more money per year annually, I would still be buying baseball cards. That would still be a hobby of mine. The only difference is I would be buying more sought after cards that are more rare, more difficult to get, that are more expensive. Right? If you know anything about baseball cards, and you probably don't, I'd be buying some essential credentials, some certified gold, platinum medallion, some more, instead of cards that are at a 50, I'd buy serial number cards that are at a 10. Yeah, there are Derek Jeter cards that I would love to have. I would love to get my thin finger popping fingers on. I can't do it though, because I don't have the money. And even if I did, I couldn't justify the purchase. But if I was successful with my stand-up in Verbal Graffiti, I would be able to justify the funds to buy those more rare, sought-after cards of baseball collectors. So really, my life would be the same. Just maybe I'd be doing the same things I'm doing now as a guy making $65,000. I would be scaling it upward. Because all the things I love to do, other than sports cards, I do like buying clothing and video equipment for Verbal Graffiti and the short films I make. If I was successful, I would put more money into those three things. But everything else I do, my jogging, jumping in my mom's pool, laying in the sun, doing stand-up, trying to get some sniz. All these things don't cost money. They're all pretty natural. Things you could do, without a six-figure income salary. So when I started trying where I am now, as to what I would be doing if I was a millionaire, making $1 million annually, it would be very similar. I'd probably still live with my mom. Maybe I buy an apartment that I could have my own. But be honest with you, I'd probably still live with my mom and just bank all the money because I do enjoy living with her. I'd still be doing this project. There might be like multiple cameras if I could afford them and do different angles and a little bit more with the editing. But it still have the essence of what this is. It'd still be verbal graffiti, still be smut. It'd still be crude humor. It'd still be my lovely face. I'd still go running 4 miles, 4 to 6 miles. I'd still be laying in the sun and, yeah. Maybe I would drink a little bit more, or I'd order a meal when I go out to do stand-up instead of wait till I get home and cook myself something late at night. But my life, like I really do believe if I was successful and making multi-millions of dollars a year with my sense of humor, I'd be living the same exact life, just a bit more luxurious. Like there aren't these activities or these hobbies that I wouldn't be buying a Porsche and driving race cars and going on fancy vacations. I'd be doing this. Because what I enjoy doing is creating content. Coming up with ideas and turning them into substance, into something real, tangible. And I'm doing that. And that's why I have as much passion now as I do as I did at episode 100. And I honestly believe if this project were ever to gain a following, and I think it will, it's not really going to change me, right? I'm not going to really change. I don't think my life would be any better with 1 million followers as opposed to 83 followers. Because I'm kind of, other than not really having any sniz in my life, every other aspect of my life, I'm kind of living it how I want to live it because I'm the B-man, right? And I'm going to live my life because I'm healthy enough to do so right now. Yeah, so thank you for being here. We ain't going anywhere. We're going to strive. What's that saying? Someone who keeps failing, doing the same thing over and over and over is a fool? Or who doesn't change anything and expects change to happen is a fool or an idiot? Well, what if the thing you keep doing over and over and over again that fails, but that's something you enjoy doing? Is it failure? The numbers will tell me yes. Yes, it is, B-Man. You are a failure. Well, to that, I say, go suck a fat one.